Well, hello there, everyone. We are here doing the lessons of A Course in Miracles, and today we are doing lesson number 102. I share God's will for happiness for me. And I just want to let you guys know, my video yesterday, I talked about visiting some places from my childhood that were associated with some trauma in my life. And doing that with my partner was really, really healing. And it kind of gave me the opportunity to reframe some things and to work through some anger and resentment that I was carrying that I didn't realize. And of course, that anger and resentment finds its way into our current relationships because I think that we project a lot of our wounds until they're healed. So I'm not a trauma expert, and I am not suggesting that that's necessary, especially, with every single trauma, because everyone's different and everyone's consciousness digests things differently. But to be with a person who really loves you and really wants you to heal, and just like holding space and being present and not trying to do anything, there's just something beautiful about that. So I don't know. It was awesome. And I felt like a real growth and a real expansion in our friendship, in our relationship yesterday, just by doing that. So anyway, it just having lessons about God's will for my happiness and being able to go to a place that has a fair amount of happy memories, but there's also a lot of traumatic, shitty memories too, with a person who I feel supported by was really amazing. And I think that, these lessons about happiness blend right into doing that kind of work. So if you have the opportunity, even if it's just traveling in your mind, it's worth going there, maybe for you. Okay. I share God's will for happiness for me. You do not want to suffer. You may think it buys you something and may still believe a little that it buys you what you want. Yet this belief is surely shaken now, at least enough to let you question it and to suspect it really makes no sense. It has not gone as yet, but lacks the roots that once secured it tightly to the dark and hidden secret places of your mind. Today, we try to loose its weakened hold still further and to realize that pain is purposeless, without a cause and with no power to accomplish anything. It cannot purchase anything at all. It offers nothing and does not exist. And everything you think it offers you is lacking in existence, like itself. You have been slave to nothing. Be you free today to join the happy will of God. For several days, we will continue to devote our periods of practicing to exercises planned to help you reach the happiness God's will has placed in you. Here is your home, and here your safety is. Here is your peace, and here there is no fear. Here is salvation. Here is rest at last. Begin your practice periods today with this acceptance of God's will for you. I share God's will for happiness for me, and I accept it as my function now. Then seek this function deep within your mind, for it is there, awaiting but your choice. You cannot fail to find it when you learn it is your choice and that you share God's will. Be happy, for your only function here is happiness. You have no need to be less loving to God's Son than He whose love created Him as loving as Himself. Besides these hourly 5-minute rests, pause frequently today to tell yourself that you have now accepted happiness as your one function. And be sure that you are joining with God's will in doing this. And there you have it. I share God's will for happiness for me. I share God's will for happiness for me. That's beautiful. I share God's will for happiness for me. I think it's good to ask yourself, particularly in your intimate relationships, how much do you want everyone you know to be happy? and really honestly assess where your ego is with that. Is your wish for their happiness conditional or transactional at all? Yeah, that just came up, so it's something to think about. Okay, let's see what A Year of Forgiveness has to say about lesson 102. I share God's will for happiness for me. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. Have you not noticed it is always more preferable to be happy than to be sad? There is an innate knowing within you that this is the way you are meant to be. When you are happy, everything is better. Your life is better. Your finances seem better. Your relationships feel better. Your opinions of yourself and others are better. When you suffer, sacrifice, or feel out of sorts, as you say, the very same things, everything, looks awful. You have an innate knowing that happiness is preferable to sadness. You innately know freedom is a natural preference over imprisonment. You don't have to study anything to know this. That is because it is God-given, and it is natural to be happy. So when you are sad, know that you have made an error of thought. You are not sinful, you are not bad. You merely have made an error of thought. Ask yourself, what thoughts do I have that cause this sadness? I don't have enough money. That thought will cause you sadness. I'm not attractive enough. That thought will cause you sadness. I'm not a success. That thought will cause you sadness. If you have these thoughts, then you are out of accord with God's will for you. If you say, I am very successful, you feel good, and that means you are successful. That is the alignment you seek. It doesn't matter how you define success. Your idea of success may be to do nothing all day long. That could be your idea of success and God's will for you. If that is your purpose, to be a non-productive person, and there are beings whose purpose is that indeed, oh no, then that will make you happy. In your day-to-day living, look for those little things you indulge in that cause you suffering and make you sad. Know you are off track there and need to reassess the wording of that thought, belief, or idea. In that reassessment, shift it around a little bit. Turn it around. Make it go back to front and upside down. See which statement feels better for you. You are the master of your ship. You accept or eliminate your thoughts. Some thoughts need to be ignored and let go, and they will dissipate and go away. Other thoughts need to be paid attention to because they inspire. They cause you joy, and they return you to that natural state of happiness that is God's will for you. I am that one you know as Jesus, and we will see you again tomorrow. All right, so there you have it, everyone. Lesson number 102. I share God's will for happiness for me. Take good care of yourself today. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow.